Everyone, what's up? Your boy Blew Up One here, the boy Blue now 1982. Google me, bitches. And I don't need to have my camera on for this. I'm just going to be reading from Violent J's Behind the Paint. Um, I'm going to start a couple paragraphs here before the night of the carnival's arrival in chapter 9, The Dark Carnival. To me, the most important part of the book, because it's where Violent J has the idea for ICP, for the Insane Clown Posse, and then has the vision. And then he goes on to elaborate some of his beliefs and thoughts about the Dark Carnival and the Juggalo world. So let's start off here over on page 178. On the last paragraph, they're sitting in the basement trying to think. They were trying to get away from the gang life and trying to come up with a new gimmick, but they wanted to keep the name, the letters ICP, and just turn it into something else instead of Inner City Posse. So we went through anything you could think of. Then I remembered the dream I kept having about the clown running around Del Rey. I would still have those dreams every now and then, and this clown was becoming almost something real to me. In some dreams, he would be trying to talk to me, but I would only see his mouth moving with no sound coming out. Sometimes I would chase after the clown, but he was always too quick to catch. Then the name for ICP kind of popped in my head. As I was having these thoughts, an excitement began to build inside me. "I have it, listen," I said. "I got that Detroit shit. Everybody liked our clown guy, right? Plus our shit is going to have tons of our own twisted humor mixed in, right? Clowns! We're scrubby-ass killer clowns!" Then it hit me all at once. Boom! Let's all paint our faces like clowns and be the insane clown posse. Clowns who murder and kill people who deserve to be murdered or killed. Boom! Insane Clown Posse came about just like that. We have not exaggerated about anything, and we have fed you absolutely no lies. I wish the story was more interesting up until here, but that's it. That is the truth. That is exactly who I am. That is where I came from. That is how I was raised. That is how we got started in music. That is how we came up with our name. And that is how we came up with our style of rap. Just like that, y'all. Plain and simple. Until now. On to the night of the carnival's arrival. That night, after our meeting, I went back to my apartment excited as fuck about the whole thing. Karen was already asleep. I was just laying there listening to the electrifying mojo with the volume down low, trying to fall asleep. Instead, however, I was thinking of all the possibilities of our new name and image. Suddenly I felt a creepy sensation come over me. It even made me jump up and look out the window at first. It's hard to explain, but it felt as if there was someone else there with me. It was as if there might have been a cop car outside coming to pick me up and take me to jail, or a posse of my enemies might have been out there circling my house. It felt like trouble was riding up on me, but it wasn't. I didn't have any reason to feel like I couldn't relax, but I couldn't at all. I listened as Karen breathed in and out. I stared intently through the open bedroom door out into the dark hallway that led to my living room. I almost expected to see something because the strange feeling seemed to be coming from there. Suddenly, a dark shadow walked into view. I was so scared I could hardly move or breathe, and I knew what it was right away. It was the clown from my dreams. Even though I couldn't make out any of its features, its outline, down to its jester hat, was exactly the same. Its form was as if it were made from some kind of jet black substance. I wanted to scream and jump out of my apartment window. If I could have only moved, I probably would have done just that. I can still remember exactly how I felt back then, as if it were happening to me now as I write this. I'm not sure what happened next, but I think I must have passed out. That moment is still lost to me. The next thing I realized, in my mind, I was at a carnival of some kind, but not really, because I couldn't hear or feel anything. This carnival was massive, and everything was way larger than life. There were roller coaster tracks that went so high they disappeared into the clouds. There was a house of mirrors that must have been 20 stories tall. This carnival was completely surrounding me on all sides, and it was twisted and strange as fuck. Standing not 10 feet away was the clown who I had seen many times in my dreams, but this time he looked all too real as he sat staring back at me. He had white and black clown makeup on in a strange pattern. He wore a blue and pink jester's hat and clown suit with big clown shoes and white gloves. He held in his left hand a deck of giant playing cards. Each one was a joker's card, like what you might see in a normal deck of cards. He began dropping them one at a time to the ground while staring at me. As he did, I felt dread that began to overcome me. As each card dropped, the feeling became worse for me. The horror intensified once I noticed he was almost out of cards to drop. What happens then? I thought. He was talking to me, but I could not hear one word he said. I could tell he was saying something very fucking crazy. I could feel his words more than I could hear them. Suddenly, just before he dropped the last card, I found myself shooting upwards, high above everything. I was looking down on this massive carnival as I flew up higher and higher. So high I could see the carnival was headed to a town. Then suddenly all I could see slowly faded, got blurry, and then went black. Even though all I could see was blackness, I didn't exactly wake up just then. I still was out, and I couldn't see nothing. I could, however, suddenly hear shit now. It started off low, and it got louder and louder, then loud as fuck. All I could hear was screams of sounds of chaos, people dying and bizarre laughter. It got mega loud as fuck, but I saw nothing. Suddenly I woke up crazy tripping out because my arm or something must have hit the radio switch between stations and the volume way the fuck up. All I heard was hell on volume 10. It was so dark in my room that I couldn't find the switch to cut the shit off, so I just yanked the plug out. The fucking thing had batteries in it though, and it kept going. Finally I fucking found the switch and cut it off. Karen was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Shut up and go back to bed." Holy fuck, y'all, that was a fucking dream in 5/8. I had to take a shower after that bad boy. I was scared to go back to bed for a minute. I basically spent the rest of the night sewing my wig back on my head because that crazy dream experience flipped my fucking wig clean off my dome and changed my life forever. Sitting there, I was thinking about the wild ass place that clown took me and putting together what he was probably saying to me. Was it just a stupid dream? I don't know, homie, you tell me. Could this have only been a crystal clear dream that was so powerful that it alone would eventually somehow lead to the actual creation of all this, us, and all that is the juggalo world of wicked clowns? Because of my vision and what happened over the next couple of days, I began to realize that either I was chosen for a grand purpose in this world, or I had gone completely insane. Even now, I am not sure which one it is. Most people during the course of their lives never see monsters chasing them down a street, an image of God in their own home, or visions from a dark carnival. But I had seen them all. I hold such a sincere belief in that vision that I would never be the same again. The strangest thing that happened to me after that vision was that suddenly ideas and images would pop into my head with ease, as if there were an energy or beings who were channeling through me and feeding me this information. It became all too clear to me what my purpose in life was. For me, the Dark Carnival in my vision is something real and something that is coming. Maybe it won't look exactly like it did in my vision, but something out there is coming and is going to consume all those whose souls are not pure. Everybody knows that shit, dummy. I've always been interested in Nostradamus and other great foreseers of the future. I learned as much as I could about them during this search for answers. I found the one chilling conclusion that they all seem to share. This world is ending. If it doesn't end for all of us at once, it will sure as hell end for us one by one. Either way you put it, the world is going to end for all of us. Time will consume us all. With my new understanding, this is how I began to feel as well. I believe in God, and I feel that the vision I had was His will. It is because of this belief that I feel that through our music, we can reach out to people who are in need of help, people whose souls are being corrupted beyond return from the evils of this world. I believe that our music, with its apparently violent and extreme outwardly appearance, has the power to attract and draw in people who are lost from God. Then they can hear its deeper, truer purpose that you should strive to enter Shangri-La, heaven, and not become lost in hell's pit. You can look at our music as fighting fire with fire. Those who never dig below the surface of the music of ICP will probably judge it as a violent and evil thing. Those of us who have dug deeper, however, realize that there is a message that pertains to trying to save the human soul. We ain't no kind of magical chosen prophets. We know that. I'd say, though, that we truly have within us a great concern for people. Well, most people, anyways. This motivates me to do what I do. If nothing else, I'm on this planet trying to do the best I can, and I believe I am doing something positive that is helping people. At the least, it is providing entertainment, but at the grandest, holding up a mirror that might help some people get on a more righteous path so that won't spend eternity burning in hell. People hate me for many different reasons, some of them justified. I have and still continue to be a troubled man who makes mistakes. There are even people reading this right now who are probably hating me for everything I've just said. Fuck hate. It is true I might have to get people's attention through hate, but I am a good person at heart. I'm only trying to do good as a man. I believe in what I am doing. It is my life's work. I am far from what most might consider a man of God, but I do not believe in all the traditional biblical beliefs as to what is considered a sin. Anyway, back to the story. There was no more brainstorming, no more thinking of anything. It was all clear to me as how we would structure the future career of ICP. It was like a floodgate had opened, and I was suddenly enlightened to exactly what we were going to do. 6 Joker cards inspired by my vision for each of 6 albums, each one with a clown face on the cover. Each clown face would be a prophet of the newly arrived and named Dark Carnival. Each, in effect, would be holding up a mirror to people to show them something wicked about themselves so they could change. After all 6 prophets showed up, then it would be time for the Dark Carnival to surface on the mortal earth like the apocalypse. In what form will it surface? Well, we'll all have to wait and see. That sounded like a good plan to me, whatever you say, spirit ninjas. I feel there is magic in ICP's music that goes way beyond my creative abilities and is brought about by the powers of the beyond. Other rap groups were putting out singles. We were releasing the end of the world in an installment fucking plan. The Dark Carnival dropped the ideas onto our heads like bags of sand backstage at the opera. You just have to experience real good magic to understand the feeling. Now I know it sounds hokey, and believe me, we've taken shit for even mentioning the Dark Carnival in interviews. You have to understand, though, I wasn't into clowns or any of that shit growing up. Never even said the word clown in the storyline of this book until my dream of the clown in Del Rey. I've never had shit to do with clowns, carnivals, or any of that circus shit. My brother was the one who was in the role-playing fantasy world, so I couldn't read a book long enough to stay focused on what it said. This thing just hit us. It hit us the same way people on late night TV describe how they were hit by the Holy Ghost. Me, Joey, Alex, Billy, all of us, we were all hit by this fucking Holy Ghost that was the Dark Carnival. From then on, we would be delivering its messages. It was just laid out before us without ever really searching for it. Pure magic, y'all. It had just shown up, scary as fuck style, and said, we're going to do it like this, and don't worry, I got you back. Everything is going to be okay. Wow, man. Wow. And I ain't talking about women or wrestling. Why us? I don't know. Why through music? I don't know. Why the vision? I don't know. I don't have any of your answers. Your guess is as good as mine. I can't explain a factual fucking thing about it. I just know it's here and it's real. Now let me ask you, do you think I'm smart enough to come up with something like that on my own? I'm a fucking dumbass. I never got past ninth grade, remember? Now, however, I've shown hundreds of thousands of people the same magic, and they too feel it. Jugglers are everywhere. Can't you see that it's magic? Or that is magic? Look at how lame I am. Look at how untalented we are. Yet we have hundreds of thousands who follow the magic. Why? Because it's real. Because it is magic. They hear it in our music. It calls out to them. If you don't hear the magic in our music, if you can't hear it's calling for you through the messages, then don't worry. It will reach you in some other way. It will reach you. All I know is that jugglers can feel the magic, just like I did that night during my vision. You want to tell me the Dark Carnival isn't real? Brother, I hope everybody finds their own version of the Dark Carnival in their own lives, 'cause it's done me well. The thing is, I can't even really take credit for it. See, the way I look at it, we were just chosen to deliver it. That's all. Honestly, I mean, look at me. I bought houses for my family. I run a company where anyone who works for me can have what I have. All that, yet I still eat a pack of NyQuils and gobble Vicodin like Tic Tacs to go to sleep. I have to take panic attack medication. The Dark Carnival ain't about making me happy. Shit, I spent my whole life learning how to be happy with no money. Now I'm rich? What the fuck is this? A fucking joke? That's why I can honestly say I think the Dark Carnival is God. I really do. I realize that he has to speak in a language that today's world will understand and listen to give him a fair shake. Rich people making it to heaven is like fitting a camel through the eye of a needle, but going to hell is as easy as walking through a gate a mile wide. There's something damn close to that in the Bible, right? Well, Joey and I just put that shit our own way in our music. Now, what would influence me to do that? I've hated people pretty much my whole life. It would have to be a higher power because it sure as shit wasn't me. I say it's God watching over me, watching over my shit. Every once in a while, like 1 out of 100, some kid will write, your song Rebel Flag really showed me what racist my parents are. And I don't want to be like that. I just want to say thank you for making a song about it. After 19 years on this planet, I finally knew what to do with my life. And that was the night of the Carnival's arrival from the chapter 9, the Dark Carnival, and Violent J's Behind the Paint. I have read the entire book for you. Check the playlist listed on my channel. Slap a like on it. Share this with your friends. If no one's ever read the book, they need to hear this part of the story. Let me open up the chat here, see if anyone's talking. What up, Juggler? Get a job, low life. Okay. J-Town Juggalo says, whoop whoop fam. Happy Hatchet holidays. Yeah, you too. And Fresh Pro is taking a big fat piss. All right. Well, I'm going to go out and smoke a cigarette. So anyways, much motherfucking wicked clown love, y'all. Whoop whoop. Peace out.